Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking something that could be a little bit of a revelation when it comes to anti-aging and the results that we see from our skincare routine. For years, I think all of us have been chasing the anti-aging dream. Everything about boosting collagen, elastin, minimizing fine lines and wrinkles, and fading hyperpigmentation. I've really been on an anti-aging journey, and I'm so pleased that so many of you guys have given me hints, tips, and hacks to make that so much easier. However, some recent studies into anti-aging and some of the things which occur in our skin as we age have revealed that we could be missing a trick. And in today's video, we're going to correct that. We're going to talk about something called glycation. Now, glycation is a process which happens in the skin, in the rest of our body, and it's been understood for quite some years. However, only recently have people started to uncover the impact that it has on our skin, particularly when it concerns aging, and more importantly, some fantastic ingredients that can prevent and reverse glycation, which has already happened in the skin. We're going to talk about it all in today's video, so that way we are on top of our anti-aging game. Sit back, relax, let's talk glycation in skincare. Now, before we get into today's video, I always like to say, just a gentle reminder to say, whilst I'm going to be recommending some products today that have worked well for me or that have some great data and science to back them up, know that I'm doing so in an entirely sponsorship and paid partnership free way. Here at Mad About Skin, you will never see a sponsorship, you'll never see me working with brands because I like to retain my independence. I believe by turning down that coin, I can speak from the heart and not the wallet. And so if you appreciate truly independent skincare advice here on YouTube, make sure to like, to subscribe, do all that YouTubey stuff because honestly, I would love to take you along on this skincare journey with me. And for everyone that's been with me for the past 5 years here on YouTube, just a big, big thank you. A big hug from me because without you guys, I wouldn't be sat here today. Now, without further ado, I think it's time we cut that waffle and we delve straight on in. So in today's video, I want to try and keep this as short, sharp, and to the point as possible. And I also want it to be really accessible because I know, coming from this as a skincare enthusiast who's been on a bit of a 10-year journey to boost their skin confidence, sometimes it can all seem a little bit overwhelming. The scientific names, some of the studies that are quoted, it can just seem a little bit too much. So I'm going to try and break this down as easily as possible for everyone, but don't worry, I have left a range of sources and additional reading down in the description box below. So if you did want to nerd out, go down that skincare rabbit hole. Those sources are all there for your convenience. And I've also left links to any of the products I mentioned today down in the description box. So if you did want to check the price point, read the reviews, or make a purchase, all there for you. So glycation in the skin. Again, it comes in strong with quite a scientific sounding name, but glycation is basically just the addition of sugar to processes that occur in the skin and the body more generally. It's been studied for about 15 years, but I think the links between glycation and anti-aging have really only been robustly studied in the last 5 to 6 years. And this is something that came about from people realizing that as we age, lots of things happen in our skin. But one of the key things that happens is an increase in this glycation, the presence of sugar within the cells of our skin. And that's where these studies then went down that rabbit hole to work out what exactly is this doing and what impact is it having. Well, these studies have shown that glycation, the sugar in the skin, has actually led to a damage to fibroblasts, which produce collagen and elastin. As we know, as we age, our levels of collagen and elastin dip like that. And as a result, we see an appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Now, this glycation forms part of that collagen reduction. It's not the whole story. There's lots of other things going on, but it definitely plays a significant role in slowing down these fibroblasts and their production of collagen and elastin. So also, some of these sugars float freely and they can then damage collagen and elastin too. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Slows down that collagen and elastin production and also damages the collagen and elastin that's already been produced, which is why we can lose that firmness, we can see some laxity in the skin, and of course, the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Now, what a lot of these studies then went on to look into is how we can reduce glycation, how we can reduce these sugars from attaching to these fibroblasts and causing the damage. And what these studies really focused down in was diet and lifestyle, how we can change things in order to be able to minimize this glycation, slow it down, and in some cases actually reverse it. Now, lifestyle does play a huge part in everything. What I don't want to do in today's video is fixate on lifestyle and diet, because I think that's a whole separate conversation. That's something that we don't really cover here on the channel. What I want to look into is skincare, topically applied products, and whether any of them can actually help reduce or reverse the glycation that's already happened in order to elevate our anti-aging, boost that collagen and elastin production, and protect the collagen we already have. There are, of course, lots of other things you can do to reduce glycation when it comes to diet. You can look at things like smoking can increase glycation, things like that. I'll let you do that your own research into that, and there are some links in the description. But today we're focusing down on topical application, what we can put on our skin to really support this. And through all of this, I went down my own rabbit hole. I spent hours researching this, and what I've discovered is actually there are a couple of quick wins that we can slot into our skin to really help prevent and reduce the glycation that's already happened. First and foremost, sunscreen and antioxidants. Now, this is something that hopefully you guys already have in your skincare routine. Glycation is actually accelerated by UVA radiation. Those are one of the two main, there are others, main ray types. UVB generally burn the skin, UVA can cause burning, cellular damage, and glycation. So the first thing is, I'd say to everyone, make sure you have a truly broad spectrum sunscreen, one that has great UVB coverage as indicated by the SPF number on the bottle, but also make sure it has good UVA coverage too. There's lots of different ways that brands will display the UVA protection rate. It might be PA+++, it might be a UV in a circle, it can be a whole range of different things. But whatever the different way of measuring that is in your own country, make sure that you're using a broad spectrum sunscreen. And I've linked some of my favorites down in the description box below if you want to just make sure that you're shopping for the very, very best ones that are out there. Antioxidants can also prevent and delay glycation too, so make sure you have a couple in your skincare routine. It could be something as simple as niacinamide or vitamin C, which are great antioxidants, or you could go for some of the more advanced ones such as pycnogenol, resveratrol, ferulic acid. There are so many different ones out there, but make sure you have a good broad spectrum sunscreen and make sure you have a good antioxidant somewhere in your routine, and that's going to really set the basis of preventing some of this glycation. For those of us that want to take it a step further, I think when you read any of the studies, one of the most promising topically applied ingredients is something called carnosine. Carnosine is actually a peptide. There are hundreds of different peptides that find their way into our skincare routine, but this one is specific in that it's actually proven to have the greatest benefit in terms of preventing glycation. It actually works on those sugar molecules and treats them before they can actually do any damage, which is wonderful. Now, the great news about carnosine is it's actually quite readily available in a lot of skincare products. Some of you guys might actually already be using it, and for those of you that aren't, it's quite quick and easy to get into your routine to get those extra benefits. So let me just share with you some of my favorite carnosine containing products so you can check, make sure that you are using it, and if you're not, you can slot them in. So first up is the Medik8 Advanced Pro Collagen Cream. This was actually the first product I tried that directly marketed it as being, anti-glycation, having ingredients in here which could prevent and delay and reverse that glycation process. And that's really what kickstarted my little voyage of discovery when it came to this specific thing that's happening in our skin. Now, this Medik8 cream I absolutely love. I've used it. I did a whole video on it. I loved it so much, and I'll link that up there. Definitely one to check out, but this actually contains that carnosine in the required concentration in order to maximize the amount of protection against glycation. I love it. It also has a great range of other growth factors and peptides. It's like a true anti-aging powerhouse. Now, I would love this, but I will also say if you're already using the Medik8 Liquid Peptides Advanced, the serum version, this is the cream, the serum version, that also contains carnosine. So if you're already using that, you're covered. You don't necessarily need to go buy the cream version. It's in both. Now, the Paula's Choice 10% niacinamide is also another great staple that a lot of people use in their skincare routine, and this also contains carnosine. Now, I'm going to add a little warning to this one to say, this has a 10% niacinamide, and this isn't going to work for everyone. 10% can work for some, but some might find it too sensitizing. If your skin can tolerate a 10% niacinamide and you're already using it, you could always swap whatever product you're reaching for out for this Paula's Choice one to get the additional dose of carnosine alongside that niacinamide. It's going to work for some, but I would say 10% niacinamide can be a lot for certain people, particularly those that are prone to sensitivity. Then have a super affordable option that I want to share with you. This is the Boots Dermacare Ceramide Serum. This is a relative newcomer to the Boots range. You can get it in the UK, Ireland, bizarrely, you can get it in places like Thailand. It's not just the UK and Ireland. They do also operate in some other countries that maybe you wouldn't expect. So have a look online, see if you can access Boots product. And if you can get their Dermacare Ceramide treatment, this contains the required dose of carnosine to give you maximum results, according to these studies, alongside ceramides, barrier boosting. It's a great all-in-one treatment, great for winter skin. It's one of my personal favourites, and I think when I bought it, I paid like £10. You really don't need to break the bank. It's such a wonderful option if you can get it. I know Boots aren't accessible everywhere, so caveat with that, but if you can get it, absolutely, it's a great, great option. Last but by no means least, a favorite brand of mine here on the channel is Theramid, and they have two products that contain carnosine alongside other great ones. I recommend the azelaic acid serum from the brand, their Acid Serum, all the time. This contains that 15% azelaic acid. It's one of my absolute favorites, but it also contains carnosine, again in the required strength to deliver the results. So if you're already using the Theramid Acid Serum, you can stop right now. You've got your carnosine fix in your skincare routine. You don't need to add anything else. They also have a new product in their collection, which I think could be a game changer for hyperpigmentation, and which is already getting a lot of hype online, and that's their Level In Serum. This contains kojic acid, tranexamic acid. It contains a whole range of brightening ingredients, NAD, and carnosine. So there you go. It's like hidden. It's a bit of a hidden gem ingredient in that particular product. I personally haven't tried that one yet. It's on order and I do want to try it, but looking at the formulation, I think it's going to be an absolute standout performer, and it's another great way of getting some carnosine into your skincare routine alongside other great actives. I would love the takeaway from this video to be that when it comes to anti-aging, continue to do what you're doing. If it's working for you, keep using whatever it is you're reaching for. But no, there are some ways that we can just step it up a little bit. If you're somebody that has almost reached a plateau with your anti-aging and you want something to try and trigger it to the next level, then carnosine could absolutely be that ingredient that could be your best friend. Make sure you're using your broad spectrum sunscreen and your antioxidants to really provide like the first line of defense against glycation. Look into some of those other lifestyle options if you think it's something that's applicable to you. Then also maybe treat your skin to a little carnosine action. Know that it's already in some of my personal favorite products. I didn't actually have to change anything or spend a single penny more, which is always nice to hear, because this ingredient is already in my skincare routine, and I hope that's the same for you guys. But if it's not, know that there are some really amazing ingredients and products out there that can make this a little bit easier. Let me know if you have any other questions down in the comment section below, and if you've made it this far. If you've made it to the bitter end, let me know by leaving the heart emoji down in the comment section. I'm asking that today because I'm full of cold. Honestly, I seem to have picked up this winter cold bug that's going around, and you can probably tell in my voice and the fact that yeah, I'm definitely feeling it. And so a heart at this point definitely, I think, could lift my spirits and help this cold evaporate that little bit quicker. So if you've reached it this far, drop the heart emoji down in the comments so I can personally thank you for being with me through to the bitter end, because you are the guys that I really appreciate the most. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, guys, stay well, stay safe, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.